That's unanimous. Let's see,
Anything under elected officials?
no, we got just a couple minutes, is there anything, what's this in here? Request to hire full-time maintenance starting March first.
Yeah, that might take a little bit.
Yeah,
longer.
I think we need to talk about
We
that.
want to discuss that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about Mike Weeble, item B,
Which one, on what page?
page 6, elected officials, 1B.
Yeah.
The firm that we advised on that is willing to take the opioid litigation
Okay.
from us, we can approve their agreement.
Yep. I'm going to approve that. He's got it.
I gotta find page 6. Okay.
William Henry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Greg. Okay, that would be, where are we at? Item B. Okay, it's on page 6, under elected officials, item A. B, discussion for possible action to approval to retain Eaglet Prince Law Firm to represent White Pine County in regards to the opioid crisis and pursuing lawsuits against the opioid drug companies at the rate of 25% of the recovery, which would be a contingency fee.
Move to approve.
A motion by Travis and a second by Ian. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass unanimous. C, approval of resolution 2019-55, a resolution in support of corrections to HR 253 for 2019.
So this was, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I interrupted, I
No.
guess we don't need to see it,
No, I was
yeah,
gonna
no
say
discussion.
thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Yep.
Senator, Congressman Horsford had wanted a resolution in support of the changes to go into the paperwork.
And really, I just want to give credit where it's due. The heavy legwork here was done by Donna Beth. I mean,
Absolutely.
she's worked on the technical corrections to this bill. Hopefully, we can finally move forward and get this lands bill fixed after
Yes.
all this time.
Who
So
is also our economic development person,
Well, Lansville is the next item, D.
so.
So C is the approval of the resolution in support of the corrections to HR.
yeah, so HR 253 would include basically the lands bill, the 2006 White Pine County lands bill corrections that we've been asking for all these years. And you can see in your backup material as part of the resolution that she's, she has that experience, so she's actually done the technical changes
She's
line
worked
by
on it for
line.
a long time.
Yeah.
It failed it failed last time, and so we're hoping to do this.
It's, they're produced manually, I believe.
Okay, so all those for motion then.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Travis and a second by Shane. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Pass unanimous. We're just gonna roll right through this last item here, if we can. And it's item,
That one might,
that might take long?
yeah.
Okay, we'll just go back then. We'll end on item C. We're gonna go back to the,
It's time to-
yeah, we're gonna go back to the regular order of the meeting, which is the 9:30.
They still have the, yeah.
Are we okay here, Brian?
We are good, yeah, let's do that public hearing.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Page 2, which is right at the fire pit. It's a 9:30 public hearing. Item 1 is a public hearing, discussion only. The White Pine County Board of Commissioners will take public comment on the matter of fair market value of the following property. APN 002-271-13. It's 1.934 acres of land owned by White Pine County, located at .108 northeast of the eastern terminus of Avenue M and 127 east of the eastern terminus of Park Avenue, White Pine County, Nevada. Okay. This is the property that we're looking at to build some houses on. We've had it appraised, and we are looking to move forward to build some houses out there on it would be 17th Street. It's the end of Avenue M and Park Avenue. It rolls north and south. It faces west. So there would be approximately 13 houses that could be built on that particular property. And
So I believe the board and the public have a copy of the appraisal at this time. If you would be so kind as to open it up, it's a public hearing. Anybody from the public can come in and weigh in on whether it's what they believe the real property value is out there.
okay, right now we will do exactly that. We'll open this up for public comment. If anyone in the public has an issue or a comment to make on this possible move by the county to develop this land, does anyone here have any comment? George has one.
Mr. Chairman, looking through the paperwork, I don't see where that property was appraised. Am I mistaken here?
It was-
4,800 it shows.
Yeah.
Oh, the value? Yeah,
Yes,
4,800.
4,800 for the 2 acres?
Yes.
I think that's way too low. You had an appraisal done on property near there, I think it was on 15th. Most of those lots came out at 30,000. You didn't get any bids, you refused my offer, yet you did a sweetheart deal for the guy with the 45 acres, appraised at 45,000. But aside from that, if you take the value of those lots in that neighborhood that appraised at 30,000, there's approximately 8 lots per acre. 8 times 30 is 240,000. Times 2, you're at 400,000 plus. Somewhere you either need to get an appraiser that knows what they're doing. I agree that those lots aren't improved, but that seems a little low. And if you're gonna sell it, you open it up to everybody. Do not give it to one sweetheart developer. Those people that are impacting our community need to step up. If it's the mine or the prison, they need to build a house or apartment complex. If they don't want to be in the rental business, that's fine. Build it and then sell it. Someone will buy it. Someone will move into it. But this thing of what you guys are doing is throwing out land for little or nothing. I have property in the community. I have a problem with your building inspector. I can't move forward, and if you think I'm gonna sit by and allow government to keep pushing me in the corner, you're wrong. You have no business competing against the private sector. There's others that have land here, been sitting on it for years. Let them develop. The single biggest detriment you have in this community for growth is that building inspector. You better address that issue. That's all I have at this time. Thank
Thank
you.
you. And that is this is a discussion, anybody else, I got any public comment on this? Can we address some of George's comments?
Yeah, it's a discussion item as well.
Okay. What we've done, George, with this is we have reached out to landowners, to developers, to all kinds of people to see that own private land. We need housing, we're desperate for it. We had an appraiser come in. Do I agree with the value of this? Absolutely not. But we have reached out. We are asking people who own property. We need the housing. Step forward. We're not trying to infringe on anybody's right to be a property owner, to develop. We encourage that. Those that own the property are sitting on it. They don't want to sell it. They want to sell it for maximum value. So it's our responsibility as a county commission, the city, any government entity, to try to move forward. We're in immediate crisis on land and building houses. So if somebody wants to come in, we got no problem. We are not trying to develop this land. We're trying to get someone to do it. We're having trouble getting developers from out of town, in town. Everybody's as busy as they can be. We're struggling with that, but we are offering, we'll step aside anytime, anyone who owns property that wants to put that development in, hey, we welcome every bit of it. We're here to satisfy a need for housing, and that's exactly what we're here for. So White Pine County is making a step forward, doing this, getting this land appraised so that we can move forward and get a developer to come in here. We aren't gonna be the property owners. We're trying to find somebody to develop it. So we are not in any way, shape, or form trying to interfere with private enterprise or anyone wanting to build. We welcome it. So if you got someone who wants to build houses, you included, have at her.
Get rid of your building inspector.
It's
I've
not
got
a building
property I
inspector
can't
issue
use.
right now, George. This is an item to start a process to build houses, to house new employees. We just got the demographics this morning. We are a growing community with no housing. We
You're
cannot-
dying. Who you kidding?
Hey, I don't want to hear about that. All I want to do is develop and create a new community, and not a new community, but develop what we have to satisfy the housing need that is drastic right now. We've got 60 employees short at the prison, 26 full-time jobs at the BLM. We've got minors moving in. We need housing, and the county is willing to step forward and make the first step. That's
You
what
want me
we're
to show
doing
you
with
your
this.
problem?
Well, I don't want to discuss problems, I just want to let you know what the county is doing with this particular item and why we're doing it. If some developer wants it, hey, we'll gladly step aside and go for it. You've got property there, you wanna develop it, have at her. But right now, we're gonna move forward and try to make a new housing development to start a way to let this county grow. Build these houses, have people that own them, move into them, and maybe their property becomes available for rent. But we are doing good. We're making a positive step forward to create housing in White Pine County. End of subject. So, this was a public hearing. Does anyone else want to speak for the public hearing? Hearing none, we're gonna move forward to, page 3, item C. This is another public hearing.
It's 5 minutes early.
It's 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, yeah.
So, I forgot to ask, I did ask if anybody else has any comment on this, anything you wanna add. And if not, we will satisfy the 9:30 public hearing, all right, Brian?
That's right.
On which item now?
So we have satisfied the 9:30, we will be moving on in just a few minutes to do the public hearing at 9:45. In the meantime, we'll try to go through the agenda and try to find something that we can work on.
Page 6, DA stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta be here no matter what, but.
Help me out here, Brian, anybody that's got something, you're good. Page 6, under DA.
Or do we wanna take Burton to seats?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Where's
Okay.
Burton back there?
He's to there.
yeah, it's a
Okay,
good,
Burton is-
I guess Burton.
Page 6, item 2, Burton Hilton Assessor. Item A is discussion update on the assessor office new software system.
So, I'd much rather discuss item B, but,
We'll get to that, we'll actually finish that, let's do this one, and we'll go
so,
there.
I guess,
Yeah.
bad news first, then we do good news. I just wanted to give you an update of where we're at with this software transition. I've alluded before that it's been very, very challenging, and I'm just kind of reiterating that. It has not gone smoothly. I've talked with Elizabeth a little bit about it. There's a lot of things that aren't working. We're in the same boat as the other 13 counties that are on this software system. We've had a lot of hiccups. We're going through right now parcel by parcel, and that takes a lot of time. There's a lot of functionalities that aren't working. We've had to revert back to the old system to get things even sent out in a somewhat timely manner. We're racing against our statutory deadlines for assessment cards. There's a lot of pieces that need to tie together that aren't working right now. And again, we're not alone. Everybody, we're working real hard. I wake up every day and want to cry. It's been by far the hardest year of my 5 years in office. There is light at the end of the tunnel. We'll get there, but I just want you to know where things are at. We're working like heck and trying to get this thing come together. All the counties are in it together. The company is in it. They're working on this stuff, but the treasurer's office is going live this week. All the 14 rural counties that are in the system, they've started transitioning. And so our county, a couple others are going live this week. And crossing our fingers that everything will tie together. Because our systems, it's the same company, but our systems, we work so closely together that everything's got to tie. Oh, you're here.
Sorry.
So it's it's been very, very hard this year. And just want to let you know where we're at. There's updates with it. Keep working. IT has been amazing to help us and work with. Everything we can do on our side, we're doing or have done. It's just need some more help from the vendor. Hopefully we're getting it, things are getting corrected. That's the update I have. I don't know if there are any questions on anything or.
You know, Elizabeth, do you have a comment on this?
Unfortunately, most of this is all software and the lack of functionality in the software, and that's a programming issue on their side. We have been proactive in helping to get everything set up we could on our side from a hardware perspective.
And they, like I said, Elizabeth, Jennifer, and BCT have been excellent. Couldn't ask for anything better from them.
So is this a software that has been used in other areas before, but all of a sudden it doesn't translate to our
Yeah.
usage?
Yes and No, kind of. So, yeah, they're nationwide, but primarily in the Midwest, South and Northeast. And so when they expanded, they're originally from Illinois, well, then they went to, Ohio or Indiana. And the laws were a little bit different, but pretty close to those. And then, as they ventured out, well, they took the jump to Nevada, and Nevada is vastly different than any other state in the country, the way we appraise property for taxes. So the system it works for everybody else, but they've had to do a lot of changes because of our statutory.
So they've written a bunch of new code, but we're seeing a ton of code line failure.
Correct.
Okay.
And so it does work everywhere. It's not, when it functions, it's gonna be a great system.
And we have faith that the vendor will make it function?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just when and are we gonna meet these deadlines? A year from now, I'm hoping, this
Wow,
is
that's a
just a
long way
long memory. There's just different things through our process. Our office is pretty regimented. It's different times of the year, we're doing different functions.
As the treasurers.
And same with the treasurer's office.
Yeah, the
So-
going live this week has gone pretty well. What I'm seeing that relates to how Burton's been struggling, because he went quite a ways before me, is that they don't have the program written and tested and working yet for imports and exports. So we can't take a big tax payment file yet, automatically. They don't have the programming written for me to print delinquent reports. The distribution program is still going. I think those three are in the process right this week. But kind of like what Burton's saying, we got a request for a delinquent list, and by NRS, we have 5 days to produce that list. At this point right now, I could always go back to ADS and do it, because we just went off on, the first of the month. So it would be current enough to be okay. But down the road, those things have to get done, but they are in process, they are getting worked on. As far as just receiving a tax payment, the system's working really well, and it's gonna be, speeds are a little bit of an issue. It takes quite a bit longer to do stuff both in Tyler and in DevNet than it did, because they're all internet-based now, so we need the speed like everybody else does. But other than that, it's going well, but there are some things that still need to get ironed out.
Maybe this is more of a question for Elizabeth. Have we had any discussion with this vendor as far as mitigation for our inconvenience and loss of time and whatnot in this matter?
I have not discussed that directly with them. I don't know if the Assessor Association has broached that subject.
We have not, as a group, we have discussed it, the topic. There's only one of the 14 counties has, I guess, started to pursue that course. That's Carson City. But they haven't pulled the trigger on a formal, making it a formal issue. But otherwise, it's just, everybody's just trying to scramble to get this. We just have to get things.
Have
And
that
it's,
discussion after
and it's not, we're not worried about what we have to take care of in March right now or January. We're worried about what I have to get done in 2 weeks, or, a month is our real hard, big thing.
Do
I
you
believe-
feel,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, do you feel like, as far as the vendor's concerned, do you feel like they're giving you their full attention in solving the problems, or do you feel like they're taking their time?
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Okay.
Because they're back in Illinois.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know
guess-
how much of their staff they're dedicating to this project.
Okay, next
And I
question.
know it's, I think, stretched a little bit, because now, they're rolling out treasurers every week now. So it's not just White Pine, it's White Pine, Eureka, and I think one
We've
other
got four,
county.
we've got four
Four.
going this
And
week.
so they've got trainers out working on them, so they're working on that, and then they've got it.
That's all I was curious,
Or
if it
issues.
at least if it seems like they're doing their best to fix it, sometimes you bite off more than you can chew, and you gotta pick up the
And-
pieces on the back end.
I feel that definitely has occurred. For us, we have, like I said, these hard deadlines, but then, we move into other hard deadlines that start affecting how budgets are compiled for the county, with reporting. So there's
If
It's not gonna be just, we get through this biggest hump right now and it's over, there's a lot of other humps,
okay.
so.
Well, we're doing the best. I was gonna say if it would help, you know, I'm happy to make a phone call and, you know, put some weight on it if they're, but that's
Yeah.
only if they're slacking. If they're throwing everything they got and they're trying to get it done.
Yeah, the project manager for the state, I do not envy him at all, he's a great person, and he's just,
He's gotta be.
he's had a very challenging job.
So is this a state mandate to make all these new transitions?
No, it's not a state mandate, but the issue, it goes back to our whole ADS issue that we've had, is ADS is going out of business.
Yeah.
So we need to switch.
So, and, you did kind of jog my memory on another thing, is the building department's supposed to be on a new system with this vendor. About half the rural counties, building departments are going with them, and ours is, and then half the clerk's offices are going with them, and our clerk's office is going with another vendor. But our building department will not be live by December 31, and they know that. So this, what they've done to mitigate is they've purchased the ADS system, the software and servers, and they have an ADS employee that's been working part-time for them, and they're bringing him on full-time into December, which is, DevNet is, yeah, so that, I mean, I'm not worried, it's not a real complex system, and so that part doesn't bother or worry me too much as far as their reporting stuff is not real significant comparatively speaking.
Go
I
ahead.
do have a question. Yeah, have they talked to you at all about any type of time frame when they think that they'll have resolution to this, or?
Well, there's many problems, and so they're rolling out updates every week. But just for example, there's an update, like, I can't appraise a converted mobile home right now. We haven't been for months. We could in July, we can't for the last few months. It just throws up errors. Well, that was supposed to be fixed yesterday. Well, we tried to test it, and our computer the program just crashes. So they're fixed, and then other components crash that were working the day before. And so they are working, but it's like they fix one thing and are breaking.
One step forward, 3 steps back.
Yeah, I mean,
Software's a nightmare.
it's a 3 steps forward, 2.5 back. We are making progress, we're getting there, and a lot of things are data cleanup that we are doing and we're fixing, and that's totally understandable. Things aren't gonna convert one way to another, but the functionality, the software, that's where it's been a challenge. And then we're gonna find out real quick how our offices communicate on the software, and then also how Catherine's office communicates with Tyler in the finance department. I mean, those are the nice thing with ADS is everything was worked together. It was very old software, but it did work. Now we're modernizing, which is a good thing, we need to, but there's a lot of kinks in the hose that we have to straighten out. So.
Okay,
If there's something we can do to help, just.
Well, it's just, I just didn't wanna come back a month from now and be like, well, it didn't work, sorry, see ya. You know, I want you to know and be aware of that we are working, there are issues and we are working on them. so.
updates are important, that was very, very informative. So thank you very much. Anybody else got anything on this before I move on? This was just an update, thank you for that. We're gonna finish you two off right now with do item B. In discussion for possible action, the ratification of the Pennington Grant Award in the amount of $576,672 for the improvements to the White Plain County Senior Center. This is both done by Burton and Kaplan.
And Mr. Chairman, if you could, on page 7, under Elizabeth, so 5D, if you could open that item as well.
Elizabeth,
All right, that item is related to this.
okay, on page 7, under Elizabeth Francis, we're at page 5, I'd be item D. Item D is a discussion for possible action, request to utilize beginning fund balance in the amount of $20,000 from the Senior Center Fund and $80,000 from the Capital Improvement Fund for a total of $100,000 for engineering services, permitting and inspection fees for the Senior Center upgrade with the construction paid for by a William Pennington Foundation grant. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have both items open, and Give us an update on what you
So,
just
I
ratified.
don't really have a
I got you.
cheerleader moves, but this is the exciting one. So we had come to the commission several months ago asking for permission to apply for this, and the commission gave us the blessing, which we appreciate. And, you know, it's not our normal jobs, but one thing being in a small community is we all have to work together for the betterment of the community. And I think this is the perfect example. So you have the county treasurer, the county assessor, the finance director, public works supervisor, the senior center director, the maintenance
Awesome.
lead, everybody coming together. We have this need, we had this opportunity that we identified, and we don't know if we would have had this opportunity a year from now or 2 years from now. So we wanted to jump on and seize the moment, and we were very fortunate. Catherine wrote a great application, we worked on it together, and you probably saw there was a thing in the paper this last week. And so to get $576,000 to improve such a vital resource for our senior citizens, I think is just an amazing opportunity for the county. We have a list of 10 things, and they're identified in the grant. The grant, we got approved for it, and then Chairman Howe, we needed to get it signed. Chairman Howe signed it for us, and that's why we have it back before the board for ratification at this meeting. But, new roof, new HVAC, new flooring, moving plumbing out of the dirt underneath it to overhead, so if there's an issue, you don't have to tear up the floor. New flooring, paving parking lot. There's so much good thing, so many good things in here. It's really exciting, and it'll be with all these improvements, we won't have to worry. Cross our fingers. We shouldn't have to worry that I can be using this thing and it'll still be in good shape. So it's, I think it's just such a great thing for the community.
Okay, and this is a large amount of money, it's a great thing, and I'm asking the commission to get me off the hook on the ratification, so.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Lori.
If I may, I just want to make sure that we understand, and the reason I had the other item open is because we do need to have we're estimating $100,000 from a combination of the senior center fund and the capital improvements fund. And I spoke to both Lori and to Bill Calderwood about these funds in order to provide for the engineering, the permitting, and the inspection fees for this project. So it's important to understand that if you approve this, we need to approve that as well. There are adequate funds in both of those funds to provide for a resolution to appropriate unbudgeted beginning fund balance.
So, and thank you for
Yeah.
making sure that was understood. So one of the conditions with the Pennington is it doesn't pay for those services. So it's kind of like the county match, essentially.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
Totally fair.
In working with Elizabeth on some of this, there's a lot about public works projects that I was not familiar with on certifying wages and different compliance issues that I thought, we'll just call up a contractor and get to it, and that's not how,
Quite how it goes.
yes,
We did this with the Pennington Foundation on the library,
Yeah.
yes.
and so it's
Very similar.
nothing out of the norm. So I'm trying to get this, so I get it in chronological order, right order. So first, do I ratify it first, or do I go to the Elizabeth's item B first?
I would go ahead and just ratify. I don't think
Okay,
the order
I look
is.
for, I just wanna be right here.
So now you second it.
Okay, so Ian made the motion,
Sure.
and Lori made the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No opposed, pass unanimous. So now we're gonna go on to page 7. Item, under 5, Elizabeth Francis, Finance Director, item B. And this is the request to utilize the beginning fund balance. Do I need to read this again?
No, you open it.
I've read it, Elizabeth has explained it, so I would ask the commission to approve.
Second?
Motion by
He can have it.
Ian, and a
Yeah.
second by Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none, pass unanimous. We are gonna go back into the regular
Thank
schedule.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Like I
Yeah,
say,
see you guys. Yeah.
it's a huge group effort. so.
Okay.
We are now going back to 9:45 on page 5.
3.
Three, yeah.
Page 3, 9:45, okay. Page 3, 9:45, this is a public hearing. Item 1, public hearing, discussion for possible action. The White Pine County Board of County Commissioners will take public comment and consider approval regarding its intent to vacate and/or abandon county-owned streets and/or easements within the northern addition